Marcus. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Doe Show. And today we are talking about Bitcoin going to 112 through 125,000. And I believe this catalyst will help us get there. If Trump stands on business, meaning that if he get peace in the Middle East, which I think they will gain peace in the Middle East, crypto will skyrocket. If he get peace in the Middle East, crypto will skyrocket. Now he had the ceasefire thing, and what happened? Crypto skyrocketed. They violated it a little bit, but they've been fighting for years, so you got to give it a couple of more attempts in order, or a couple of more negotiation tactics in order for it to get the best full result, right? So Trump yesterday, and he had me. I laughed so hard
With
yesterday,
this, President
right?
Donald Trump is wheels up to the
Watch
Netherlands
Trump.
right now, and that is where he will take part in a NATO summit. The visit comes just hours after a ceasefire killing four. Israel then said they
Watch Trump. Trump is the funniest guy to
the
me.
Netherlands right now, and that is where he will
Um,
take part in a NATO summit. The visit comes just hours after a key ceasefire agreement between Israel and Iran seemed to stall. Let's break down what happened. This morning, Israeli first responders said an Iranian missile hit the southern city of Beersheba, killing 4 people and wounding about 20 others. After that, Israel accused Iran of firing more missiles and violating a ceasefire deal. Israel then said they would, quote, respond with force, but Iran denies breaking the agreement. President Trump, quick to save the deal, held a phone call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The White House says he stood firm about what needs to happen to sustain the ceasefire. After that conversation, Netanyahu says they refrained from further attacks. Before that, though, the president did not hold back his frustration. Listen.
I think they both violated it. I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. We basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand?
and I must agree with Trump on that. They don't know what they're doing. And the way that I see it is this, right? I think this is why Trump is definitely pissed. Because he got convinced into being on Israel's side, which Israel, to me, are allies with the United States. But they actually made him pull the trigger, right? They put him, it's kind of like the okie doke. They kind of put him in a situation where he had to show his hand, right? Because I believe that Israel started this war. I'm not saying that Iran don't have the power to make nuclear bombs and everything else, right? But I think it's a little bit more than that because they didn't have the power for years to make bombs. Since 1990, they've been talking about the same story. And I had to explain to people on my other channel that it's bigger than that. Israel wants to move because Israel is trying to be the central um, power in the Middle East without any quote unquote threats, right? Or without anyone being able to stand up for themselves. So that's a whole nother lecture. That's a whole nother conversation, right? Canelli said, hey, what's going on, Canelli Lou? If I mispronounce your name, my bad. This is your first time here. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, sub me up. That's all I ask. Sub me up. Now, saying it all to say, right? This is the catalyst that I think will send us where we need to be. And the reason why I say it is because if Trump is able to make peace in the Middle East by some form of negotiation tactic, it's going to send crypto all the way up. I see it. If Jerome Powell do rate cuts, it's gonna send it up. It's too many things that's kind of can align to make me say, I'm buying the dip. I'm buying. I bought some tokens yesterday. Asto. I've been doing my research on that one. I got another little low cap. I like to invest in small caps, low caps with extreme utility because that's when you get your 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x, 50x, 60x, 100x. That's when you can turn $1,000 into $10,000. That's when you can turn $5,000 into $50,000. That's when you can turn $10,000 into 100K automatically. You know, you can also turn 10,000 into $1 million, depending on what utility you decide to have. I know that AI is going to be a thing of the future, and as though that's what it's for. It also is part of gaming. So I said, gaming to me is going to be bigger than a lot of things on the blockchain. You got to remember, everything is built on top of the blockchain. So I think that the gaming aspect of this whole thing is going to be enormous. Think about it. These kids playing games, they come into the parents, hey, can I see your credit card so I can buy a sleeve, or I can buy this inside of the virtual games and the metaverses and the future verses and everything else. So I say, well, why not invest in the space, right? Why not invest in the space? This is how I think about it. So like I say, I think this catalyst is actually going to take us where we need to go. And pay attention. As soon as you see that, I can't give you financial advice, right? But one thing I can say is that I like to buy when there's blood in the street. I like to buy when there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? I like to buy when people aren't buying. Like right now, people are on the sideline waiting for the perfect time to get in, not knowing that there's no such thing, right? The best thing to do is DCA, dollar cost average, into crypto that you believe he'll hold or have the capability to be a utility, right? I only invest in utility, things that actually makes the space better. I'm not going to, it's millions of tokens that don't make any sense. It's for the hype, it's for the show, it's for the meme. Not saying that meme coins can't make you money. Of course it can, but they can also rug pull as well. Of course they can too. So which one would you rather, right? I would much rather low cap utility tokens that a lot of people that didn't even hit the mainstream yet. That's not even on Coinbase and Binance. Before they make it there, I want to invest. You know, that's the point of these things. So I posted something earlier, hash flow. You guys go check that out. I'm doing my more extensive research on it. But as far as utility, because slippage is the thing. So if you can get something for a certain price and a direct price without the slippage, that's a use case to me that I thought about. So hash flow actually does that. So pay attention to that one, right? Pay attention to that one. Pay attention to Asto. Pay attention to Silo. Pay attention to Root. Pay attention to XLM, XRP, Aquarius. Pay attention to Quant, XDC, IOTA, just to name a few. Pay attention to what's going on. Also pay attention to Bitcoin, right? A lot of people are saying, hey, well, if you own this, you shouldn't own Bitcoin, or it's Bitcoin only. Bitcoin is definitely powerful. It's definitely powerful. Most of my profit I'm going to dump into more Bitcoin and or XRP, but we're going to dump the profit from these small caps, right, into Bitcoin and our XRP. Right? How about Zebek? Zebek is another golden ticket. So, not financial advice, just giving you guys a couple of gems that you may want to go research. Do your own research. Do your own research. Take your own risk. On that note, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. This is Crypto Doe once again. Go check out my merch store as well. It's going to be in the description. I want you guys to have a wonderful day. It is 8:42 on a Wednesday morning. Let's go. Let's get it. Put on your seatbelt. It is time to go.